John has become very anxious about growing up, and he worries about me, his mum, getting older, and the possibility that I could die. He's only 12, but becomes very tearful at the thought. How can I help reassure him I'm fit and healthy?
Oh God, talk about a question that's almost impossible to answer. Okay, there's loads of different components to this. So the first thing to point out, I suppose, is abstract concepts are notoriously problematic for autistic children and adults. And there are some things that are so intangible or abstract, like the passing of time, for example. Passing of time is a good one because it changes. We all know that time changes in terms of how quickly it goes, depending on whether you're having fun or not. It's simple as that. So time flies by when you're having the best time of your life, and when you're utterly bored, it just drags on and on and on. So it's very difficult to qualify things like time as well. Hang on a sec. Darling, I'm literally in the middle of a session. Can I'll give you a ring in about an hour. All right, love you, bye-bye. Sorry, it's my son. He's got an A-level retake today, so he's stressed. Anyway, that was really inappropriate and unprofessional of me, wasn't it? Never mind. It would have just stressed me out if I hadn't have answered it, and then I'd have just been a gibbering wreck. So actually, it's very professional. Where was I? Yeah, abstract concepts. So for me, time and death and things that we can't pin down, like the date at which you're going to die, are often things that some autistic kids are going to become stressed about. So for me, one of the things that we can do, you're never going to alleviate that. And obviously there are reasons why he's going to be worried about how you cope with trauma, such as the death of a loved one as well. So I think there are a number of things that you can do. So first of all is try and make the intangible more tangible. So like the concept of death itself, it amazes me that we don't teach this, that parents aren't taught this for their kids from a very young age. I think I wrote about this in one of my books. I think I did. But I love teaching the concept of gone forever as a substitute, if you like, for death. So death basically means, at an individual level, death beyond all of its sort of, religious connotations or philosophy or whatever, in terms of how it impacts on an individual, the death of something means that something, in this case a person, is gone forever. Now, how do we teach that to an autistic child without completely traumatizing them? And I think we should be doing that from day one, for things that really, really don't matter. Okay, so I remember teaching somebody this every time he had a poo. When you flush that toilet, that poo is gone forever. And we used to take photos of the poo. So you've still got a photo of it, but the poo itself is gone forever. You are never going to see that poo again, ever. And you can do it with all sorts of things that the child doesn't mind about. So it's not traumatic. But what you're doing right from a very young age is making a very abstract concept absolutely tangible. So when it does come to talking about death, there's a level of tangibility about what we mean. Second thing you can do is start conceptualizing time. Autistic people tend to think about themselves and the world today, now. They don't tend to think about themselves and the world yesterday or tomorrow or in 10 years' time. But time does tick along. That's why puberty is so traumatic for so many autistic kids, because all of a sudden time really is taking effect. So I'm a massive fan of making the passing of time tangible as well. So even something as simple as having a growth chart in your kitchen, and you can see, look, every birthday when you do, you can see the passing of time. You've got taller over the passing of time. Having things like scrapbooks and timelines, iPhones, whether you like Apple or not, are amazing because they come up with, and Facebook as well, whether you like Facebook, they come up with, oh, this happened a year ago today. We should be massively encouraging, not just the child engaging with that, but saying, what has changed over the last year? And do you feel okay about it? Yeah, well, I've changed. I look differently, but I'm okay about it. So actually what you start teaching is that the passing of time is actually okay. And it isn't something to be traumatized by. And then the third thing you can do is start working on how children and adults can cope with grief. And again, we bury it under the carpet because we don't like thinking about it. Autistic people are really, really bad at burying things under the carpet. They don't just ignore things because they don't like it. They obsess over it and stress about it. So rather than just saying, oh, you don't need to worry. By the way, if somebody is stressing about something, don't say, don't worry about it. It's just a really crap thing to say. You can see the child going, oh, really? Oh, thanks. I'm okay now. Not. It's just a ridiculous thing to say. So it's much better thing to worry about. Oh, is that a question from Gordon? It is. Oh no, he's